Morning everyone, it's Clive. It's another brew day in Nottingham. It's a lovely spring day outside today, and I'm going to have a go at another pale ale. This time I'm making Harpoon IPA. So what am I using today? Here we go. This is the standard Maris Otter pale malt. This is the basis for most of the grain that you use in your home brew. And as you can see, here we go. Just give you an idea what it looks like. There you go. So I'm going to use about just over 5 kilos of this. I've also got something called crystal malt, and I'm using 227 grams. I've also got roasted barley. Let's have a look at these two. There we go. This is the crystal malt. It's quite distinctive taste of this one. And this one, you can see, it's almost like burnt toast. This is the sort of thing that you use in Guinness to give it its dark, distinctive dark colour. Okay everyone, I've added all the malt to the mash tun, and I've got my trusty spoon, and I'm just going to give this a good old stir up. Let's just focus on that. Here we go. So I'm going to give it a good old stir just to make sure that you can see that's revealing all the sort of like malt underneath. Okay, let's check to see if the boiled water is now cooled down to 80 degrees C. Get my trusty thermometer. Not that one, this one. I've got two just in case one breaks. Here we go, that's a nice one because it's got a green marker. Here we go, let's see where we get up to. We've got to be about 80 degrees C, so let's have a look. Oh yeah, it looks like it's just about right. Looks like it's this side of 80. Yeah, that's fine. So what do I need to do now? I need to add 9 litres of this boiled water from here into the mash tun. Okay, I've just added 9 litres of the boiled water to the mash tun with the grain, and you can see that's all the air escaping now. So I just need to get my trusty spoon, and I need to help that a little bit just to liberate all the pockets of air that are trapped between the grains. So I don't spend too long doing this because you don't want the water to cool down too much. Oh, you can smell that malty goodness. It's almost medicinal. Lovely aromatic smell. Night mash tun. I've wrapped it up in an old duvet cover just to try and minimise the heat loss through the mash tun, because it does lose a little bit of heat and you want to try and retain as much as possible. So these are the hops I'm going to use today. I'm going to be using Styrian Goldings, Chinook and Cascade. This is the brewing book I'm using at the moment, Clone Brews, Recipes for 200 Commercial Beers by Tess and Mark Szamatulski, and the recipe for Harpoon IPA is on page 292. So while I'm waiting for the grain and mash tun to do its job, I'm rehydrating the yeast. This is the yeast that I normally use, for obvious reasons I think, because I live in Nottingham. So here we go. This is vacuum sealed. I've boiled some water and I'm just waiting for the boiled water. It's 110 mils here to cool down to less than 30 degrees C, then I'll add the yeast. Here you go, the water's less than 30 degrees C. I've added the yeast and you can see I just poured it in the top, and I'll let that sit there for 15 minutes, then I'll give it a stir, and then it will all hydrate. I'm ready to unwrap. I've taken off the duvet and I'm ready to have a look at the mash tun that's been soaking. Oh, look at that. Very nice. Very good. Oh, the malty goodness. Amazing. There we go, that's ready to be sparged. Let's draw off the first bit of water. This is just the water that's been sitting in the mash tun. So if we do this, you'll see what you get. It's a really silty looking extract from the grain. So I'll just run that off into the container, and what I'll do is I'll just pop it back into the top, and the grain will act as the filter bed and capture all those fines that are coming through. Here we go. At this stage you can actually have a bit of a taste of this stuff. Just it's a little bit like Horlicks. Oh, really sugary. And don't worry about contaminating it, because this is all going to go back in the boiler later with the hops, so it'll be totally sterilised. Oh, Okay, I'm going to start sparging now. That's where I'm going to run the water. You can see, run it gently over the surface of the grain to wash the sugars from the grain through into my primary fermentation bin just down here. That will then go back into the boiler with the hops later. All of the water from the boiler, that's empty. There you go. Has been transferred through the mash tun. So we've washed all the sugar, hopefully, and most of it out of here into my primary fermentation bin, and you can see we've got somewhere in the order of 26 litres of extract, sugary extract from the mash tun. As you can see at this stage the extract is about 62 degrees C, and this will go back into the boiler. Extract is now back in the boiler. There we go, and that's going to be in there now until it boils, and when it's boiling I'll have the hops and it'll be in there for an hour and a half. And there you go, after about an hour the yeast is fully hydrated and ready to be pitched into the beer when ready. As many of you know, this is my favourite stage of the brewing process. This is where I've just added the first batch of hops to the wort, and it's bubbling away. It's a really lovely malty brewery smell going on in the Mitchell Brewery right now. Okay, I'm on the final lap now. I've put the chiller in, and that's plugged into the outside, and it's working away. So in the next 10-15 minutes this should be cooled down enough sufficiently to put it into the primary fermenter. The last stage is finished, it's cooled down to less than 30 degrees. I'm going to transfer it now from the boiler into the primary fermentation bin. The last thing I need to do is just pitch the yeast into the container. I've got it here. All I do, just take the lid off, and then swish this in, pitch it in here. That's it. That's done. Okay folks, until next time, happy brewing.